This image you see right here, courtesy of CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations in California, shows a campaign right now to reinstate Esna Tessum. Esna Tessum is the valedictorian of the University of Southern California, also known as USC. Y'all know who she is, or if you don't know who she is, you know that she is the valedictorian, and her speech has been canceled. And the reason her speech has been canceled is not because she committed some crime. It's not because she even said anything that was offensive to people, but people have decided that Esna Tessum, who obviously is Muslim, cannot be the graduation speaker, cannot be the valedictorian speaker at the graduation. Why? Well, because after it was announced that she was going to be the graduation speaker, people started investigating her. Why did they investigate Esna Tessum with the hijab on? I have no idea. I can't imagine why they would be investigating this young woman, but they investigated her. And after investigating her, they found that on her Instagram biography, God forbid, on her Instagram biography, she was linking to this page that you see right here that says Palestine. Learn about what's in Palestine and how to help. She literally links people to a page that gives an introduction about what's going on in Palestine. And it's called I'm sorry, they link you to Decolonize Palestine. They say Palestine is a country located in the Levant in Western Asia. It borders Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. And currently it is being occupied by the state of Israel, a Jewish ethno-state established by Zionists in 1948. Now, apparently, that was just too much. That was apparently too much. So because of this, literally because of this page, Esna Tessum is no longer going to be the graduation speaker. Why, you might ask? It's a reasonable question. I would ask the same question. I did ask the same question. Well, what happened was some student groups saw that page that you just saw. They saw the page that you're looking at. And they decided that this page right here that has like a paragraph about Palestine, it's not anti-Semitic, it's not violent, it's not disrespectful. Yes, it refers to Palestine as a country in the Levant that borders Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. And it's currently occupied by the state of Israel, a Jewish ethno-state established by Zionists in 1948. Israel was established by Zionists. It is a Jewish ethno-state. It's occupied by the state of Israel. Now, they might say it's not occupied if they're referring to, it depends on how you define Palestine, right? They might say Gaza is not occupied, although it's an effective occupation. But that's certainly not something to ban a speaker over. The West Bank is occupied. The Golan is occupied, right? I mean, you don't ban a speaker simply because they presented a link. They didn't even write this. The girl posed a link to this page. The young woman posed a link to this page. And because she posted a link to this page, this woman right here, Esna Tessum, is now no longer allowed to be the graduation speaker. She's now no longer allowed to be the graduation speaker. Student groups and other on-campus clubs, such as Chabad and Trojans for Israel, said that the school should reconsider the valedictorian. Did she cheat on the test? No. Was her grade point average not right? Nope. That wasn't the problem. They don't like the fact that she linked to a page that had a critique of Israel, or even just an analysis of Israel. So now, despite having a GPA greater than 3.980, Being an excellent student in biomedical engineering was her major. Despite contributing to both university and community life and submitting a reflective essay about her time at USC, and everybody uh, loved her. They loved what she submitted. They thought she made a great case. She's been an advocate for the community. She's served the Muslim Student Union and the mobile clinic at USC. So she's done public health stuff. She's done all of the things. And they decided that she could not be the valedictorian. This is shameful. This is shameful. And here's the crazy part. The university took the most cowardly approach possible. I want you to read this. This is a letter from the provost's office that they sent to the entire university community today. Important update on 2024 commencement. Yeah. Don't show us the images of processions and pomp and circumstance. Get to it, right? It's a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah about why campus is about graduation, how wonderful it is. Then it's a bunch of blah, blah, blah about how many people are showing up. And they say because of USC's size and scale, commencement week is also the most challenging time of the year for our Department of Public Safety, who work tirelessly and effectively to keep our campuses the safe places that they are. The Office of the Provost is involved in commencement in many ways, including the selection of our undergraduate valedictorian. Here it is. Unfortunately, over the past several days, discussion related to the selection of our valedictorian has taken on an alarming tenor. The intensity of feelings fueled by both social media and the ongoing conflict in the Middle East has grown to include many voices outside of USC and has escalated to the point of creating substantial risks relating to security and disruption at commencement. We cannot ignore the fact that similar risks have led to harassment and even violence at other campuses. So basically, people are mad at who we chose for the valedictorian, and it's making people angry because we got a Muslim who, she appears to be South Asian to me. I don't even understand her to be from the Middle East, but regardless, there's, racist people don't care about that. They're saying because of this, we can't ignore the risks that are now being posed. There's a security threat because people are mad that we chose a Muslim woman to be this. So they give a whole spiel just to say this. After careful consideration, we have decided that our student valedictorian will not deliver a speech at commencement. While this is disappointing, tradition must give way to safety. This decision is not only necessary to maintain the safety of our campus and students, but is consistent with the fundamental legal obligation, including the expectations of federal regulators, that universities act to protect students and keep our communities safe. It applies the same values and criteria that we have used in the past to guide our actions. In no ways does it diminish the remarkable academic achievements of any student considered or selected for valedictorian. Notice they're not even saying her name. They're speaking in these vague, gross generalities about who and what she is. To be clear, this decision has nothing to do with freedom of speech. Right. There is no free speech entitlement to speak at a commencement. The issue here is how to best maintain campus security and safety, period. So the university is basically saying, we would love to have her. We would love to have this young lady. We'd love it. But we can't do it because if we were to do it, it would be unsafe. Now, this young woman was chosen from nearly 100 applications that were submitted from among the more than 200 graduating seniors who qualified for consideration based on GPA, again, higher than 3.98. The provost made the final decision based on faculty recommendations. That means the faculty supported this, the provost approved it. And now, because a couple of campus groups say they don't want any parts of it because of what's going on in the Middle East, you can't choose a South Asian, I'm going to assume she's South Asian, you can't choose a South Asian Muslim woman because of the unrest that's happening in Israel and Palestine. Let's say she was Palestinian. I can't pick a Palestinian. Would we say we can't pick an Israeli student because of what's happening in Israel, Palestine? Would we say we couldn't choose a Jewish American student because of what's happening in Israel, Palestine? Because it would upset somebody? Are you telling me that we wouldn't allow a Zionist student to be the valedictorian because of what's happening? Because Palestinian students would be upset? Of course not. Of course not. No one's buying that. And one person who was especially not buying it is Esna Tessum, the girl herself, the young lady herself. She issued her own statement. I'm so proud of this young woman. I'm so proud of this young woman who made a statement that is on the CARE California website. She said, I'm honored to have been selected as USC class of 2024 valedictorian. Although this should have been a time of celebration for my family, friends, professors, and classmates, anti-Muslim and anti-Palestinian voices have subjected me to a campaign of racist hatred because of my uncompromising belief in human rights for all. Again, the woman's not even taking a particularly radical stance here. She simply linked to a page that said they would teach you about Palestine. That's literally all it takes. That's literally all it takes. And she says that she's now been unseated as valedictorian. She said, I'm not surprised by those who attempt to propagate hatred. I'm surprised that my own university, my home for 4 years, has abandoned me. Now, I want y'all to understand something, because I want you to see how these universities work, because this is the disgusting part. In a meeting with the USC provost and the associate senior vice president of safety and risk assurance, she said she met with them yesterday, April 14th. She said, I asked about the alleged safety concerns and was told that the university had the resources to take appropriate safety measures for my valedictory speech, but that they would not be doing so since increased security protections is not what the university wants to present as an image. I'm gonna say that again because this is crucial. The university basically said, we could protect you, but if we have the security measures in place for your speech, we don't like how it would look. We don't like how it would look to have an armed guard next to the valedictorian. We don't like how it would look to have security in front of the stage. We don't like to have a bulletproof vest in front of the podium. Bulletproof glass, excuse me, in front of the podium. That's basically what they're saying. Now, look, as a university president, I probably wouldn't want that either. I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't want that either. Oh, by the way, yes, she says later in this letter, she says she's a first generation South Asian American Muslim. This woman was chosen as valedictorian. And in her high moment, or what should be her high moment of celebration and glory and praise and love and admiration and applause on graduation day, they say to her, well, you know what? There are a lot of people who hate Muslims. There are a lot of people who are mad at you for getting chosen, not because of anything you said or did, but because, or maybe because you put a link to a page about Palestine, but not even particularly radical. And yeah, people are saying they might want to hurt you. And yeah, we could protect you from the people who want to hurt you. But if we protect you from the people who are going to hurt you for being Muslim and being pro-Palestine, then it'll make us look bad because that we had to protect a student from racists. Because the truth is, USC doesn't want the world to know that they have that many racists that they need to protect Muslims from. USC doesn't want there to be any awareness that this is what's happening. This is embarrassing under normal circumstances. Can you imagine a white male Christian who was the graduation speaker and somebody called and said, you know what, we're anti-Christian. We're questioning this Christian person's ties. And there's some rumblings and death threats or letters or rumors of death threats. You think the school says, you know what, well, we're going to set, I'm sorry, Mr. White Male Christian, we're not going to let you be the valedictorian. We're not going to let you give a valedictory speech. We're going to have to end your speech because to protect you from these anti-Christian, anti-white voices, we'd have to have security, and security looks bad. And we don't want people to know that we need it. So we're not going to do it. I mean, come on. It wouldn't happen to a Christian. It wouldn't happen to a Jew. It wouldn't happen to an atheist. Wouldn't happen to a white man. Wouldn't happen to a white woman. But somehow it's okay to do this to this young woman. They have stolen a great moment, an incomparably great moment from this young woman's life. It's bad enough that the haters were given a platform, that they were given voice. But what's even worse is that once the haters stood up and expressed their concerns, these concerns were treated as legitimate. These concerns were treated as proper. I mean, shit, they actually acquiesced. So what stops the hater the next time? What stops the Islamophobe from stepping in and stopping a faculty hire, a public speaker, a guest speaker, like from another university or from outside the university community? What stops them from scaring people who are first year students who are brown or Muslim? We're going to block admissions now? We're blocking public speeches. Now, the university's right. There's no First Amendment right to a valedictorian speech. That's true. Her First Amendment rights in general aren't being violated. But the question is, what kind of campus climate are you producing? What kind of story are you telling about your university and who y'all are? What y'all are? That's the part that worries me, to be honest. That's the part that scares me, to be honest, is that campuses are increasingly comfortable saying, yeah, we're a place where Muslims can't speak. We're a place that gives in to pressure. And whatever's going on in Gaza right now will eventually, inshallah, end. But when it does, will we continue to have to deal with the remains, the afterlife of this campaign against free speech, the afterlife of this project of silencing? What are we going to do?